Hello everyone, welcome to my channel BNB CBS Gossip 24. Luna lost her baby after seeing Will and Electra happy together. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Luna had always been ambitious, a woman of strong will and secret dreams. She had walked into the Spencer world believing she might carve out something for herself. Respect, maybe love, and certainly a child she could call her own. When she discovered she was pregnant, the rush of emotions had been overwhelming. Excited, terrified, hopeful. She believed Will would stand by her. She believed they were in this together. But life has a way of unraveling assumptions. Over the past weeks, Luna's secrecy about the pregnancy had become more difficult to maintain. The whispers behind closed doors, the concerned glances, the swollen belly she tried to hide beneath loose coats. Everything pointed to a truth that others were beginning to sense. Meanwhile, Will and Electra's relationship had grown, closer and more visible by the day. Which meant Luna's hope, once soft and tentative, now felt like a raw wound. One evening, Luna sat in her small apartment, an unexpected haven offered by Bill Spencer as a kind of safe place, while her legal troubles wound down. She ran her fingers over the line of her stomach, closed her eyes, and tried to imagine a future where she and her baby were safe, loved. But the knock came. Her door opened to reveal Electra standing there, vulnerability in her eyes. "Luna," she said softly. "We need to talk." Inside, the three of them sat around a low coffee table. Will's expression was strained. Luna's was defensive. Electra's voice trembled slightly. "Will and we've become a couple. And I heard you're expecting." She didn't say it harshly, only plainly. Luna swallowed, pain tightening in her throat. "Yes," she whispered. "But Will, you said you would stay with me. You told me you wanted this." Will looked away. "Luna. I did believe that. But things have changed. I care for Electra now in a way I can't ignore. And I don't know if I can be the father in the way you deserve." The words hit Luna like a blow. Her world spun briefly. "So I'm just supposed to carry this alone?" Her voice rose despite herself. "Supposed to watch you two be happy while I'm sorry," Will said. "I wish things were different." Electra reached out. "I'm so sorry, Luna. I never wanted to hurt you." Luna stood up sharply, tears in her eyes. "Hurt me? You both just walked into my house, into the only place I dared hope I belonged." She fled the room, the tears finally streaming down her cheeks. Over the next few days, Luna became a ghost of herself. She missed work, retreated into silence, and when she did appear, her eyes were hollow. The baby she carried was no longer just hers. It had become something she feared losing, not just to the world but to the very foundation she had trusted. Then came the day of the accident. It happened when Luna, frustrated and heartbroken, drove off in her car after spotting Will and Electra together at the beach house. She wasn't thinking clearly, the grief and anger clouding her mind. A van veered unexpectedly, Luna swerved, and the crash was traumatic. She was rushed to hospital unconscious, and the baby was delivered prematurely. The room was cold with machines and alarms. Luna came to briefly, her vision blurred, and she heard the doctor say words she never wanted. "We did everything we could. I'm sorry." Her baby, her hope, was gone. The next morning, Luna awoke to a nightmare. Bill Spencer stood in her hospital room. His face was grave. Luna realized not just the loss of the child but what it meant for her place in the world. "What happened?" she croaked. "The baby didn't survive," Bill said softly. "You are stable but you lost the baby." Luna sobbed. The grief was overwhelming. Not just for her child but for the future that would never be. For the dreams she'd held. For the arms that would remain empty. Bill placed a hand on her shoulder. "I know. I'm so sorry." It was the kind of pity that she didn't want. She pushed away, tears streaming. "Don't pity me," she said. "I want what I wanted." Bill nodded. "I know. I can try to help you move forward." Luna shook her head. "There is no forward. Not for me." Meanwhile, Will and Electra's bliss was interrupted. The news of Luna's crash and the baby's death reached them. Electra, shaken and guilty, went to the hospital. She found Luna lying in bed, the physical wounds slowly healing but the emotional ones fresh. Electra sat beside her. "I'm so sorry," she whispered again. Luna looked at her, eyes red but unyielding. "Sorry doesn't bring back a life," she said. "Will arrive too." He stood by Luna's bedside. I don't know what to say, he said. But you'll say something when they hand you another dinner plate and there's only one chair at your table, Luna replied. I watched you two laughing, planning futures, while I was planning a child. Will's face pained. He tried to reach out but Luna recoiled. Don't touch me, she said. Not now. Not ever right now. Sheila Carter's shadow seemed to hover. Old sins, new lies, the tangled web of the Spencer Forrester universe. Luna realized that she was alone, not just emotionally but in every sense. In the days following, Luna withdrew from everyone. Electra and Will avoided each other for a short while, guilt making awkward what had once seemed effortless. At Spencer Creations and the Forrester Enterprise they whisper. About the crash, the lost baby, the broken triangle. The fashion lights glared brighter, but Luna felt invisible. One evening she walked the quiet corridor of the hospital, looking at the photo wall of new mothers and babies. She stopped at one image, a smiling mother holding her newborn. The image should have brought joy. Instead it stabbed. She thought of the child she never saw, the future she lost, the love she hoped to claim but couldn't. A nurse approached. Miss Nozawa? You're discharged tomorrow. Luna nodded. Thank you. Take care of yourself. She left the hospital the next day, the spring air sharp and clear as though mocking her bleak insides. She drove away from the mansion, away from the world that had reminded her what she lost. She rented a small apartment, away from the sparkle of Los Angeles and the Forrester/Spencer bright lights. She needed distance or she would collapse. At the same time, Will sat in his office, the weight of his decision pressing on him. Electra came in quietly. We need to talk, she said. He nodded. I have thought so. She exhaled. I feel like I'm part of something tragic. I care for you but I'm not her. And I don't want to be the cause of breaking someone's life. Will ran his hands through his hair. I never meant to hurt Luna. I meant to be honest with my feelings. But I couldn't escape what I felt for you. I know, she said. But sometimes what we feel isn't what we should act on. They sat in silence. Back in her apartment, Luna sat before her mirror one evening. She touched the scar across her belly, a faint line now but a scar nonetheless. She had been changed irrevocably. The grief had emptied her. At the same time she didn't want to disappear. She wanted something of herself back. But what? She reached for her phone and scrolled through old photos. Smiles with her mother, Poppy, fashion sketches from her internship, blurred selfies with Will. The past seemed distant, unreachable. There was a knock. Electra stood in the doorway holding something, a baby blanket. Luna frowned. I found it in Will's office, Electra said. It's yours. I didn't know what else to do. Luna took the blanket. It was soft, pale blue, embroidered. She held it like a fragile prize. Her hands trembled. Why are you here? Because I owe you something. I owe you a truth. I don't know if saying it will help you but I have to say it. I care for Will, deeply, but the way things ended with you. I hate that I was part of your hurt. Luna stared. Thanks. Electra paused. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know. Luna nodded then sat down. The blanket in her lap. She didn't cry. Not yet. But something stirred. Weeks passed. The fashion world kept spinning. The Spencer and Forrester dynasties advanced new collections, launched new partnerships. Luna returned to work. Slowly, tentatively. She chose to design clothes as a tribute to what might have been, a delicate line of maternity wear named New Dawn. It was ironic. She couldn't have the dawn she dreamed for herself, but she could channel her pain into something else. Will and Electra's relationship reached public status. Engagement rumors swirled. For fans of the Spencer Forrester world, their happiness was a relief. But for Luna, it was a background hum of pain. On the night of the launch of New Dawn, the event held at Spencer Creations showroom, Luna stood on stage to address the crowd. Her voice was steady. This collection is for every woman who loses something precious and has to rebuild. For the child we never held, the life we never lived, the love we thought was ours. And for the strength to begin again. The applause was sincere. Luna felt herself rising, fragile but real. Afterwards Will came up. Congratulations, he said. It's beautiful. Luna didn't look at him. Thanks. Luna, he said softly, I'm sorry. She turned towards him. Well, I lost a baby. I lost hope. I lost you. I'm not sure what I lost more. I know, he whispered. For a long time, she said, I was the victim of this triangle. I woke up each morning thinking I'd wake up in your arms. Then I woke up and you weren't there. He swallowed. I do care for you. I really do. But at some point I realized I was in love with Electra. Luna closed her eyes. And what about the baby? I didn't mean it, he said. Pain doesn't care about meaning, she said. She turned and walked away. In her apartment later that night, Luna opened the baby blanket. She folded it neatly. She hung it inside her closet. A symbol, a memory, a dream lost. Then she sat and wrote in her journal. My child, though I never held you, you changed me. You taught me that even in the most beautiful dreams there can be loss. And that perhaps the greatest art is how we respond when what we love is ripped away. Will and Electra may build their future. I will build mine, with my grief, with my strength, with all the parts of me that still breathe. I will mourn you. I will honor you. And I will begin again. She closed the book. The music from the city drifted in. The lights shone outside. In that moment Luna realized, her story wasn't over. It had changed. And maybe change itself could become something bold and beautiful. Luna escapes from prison, bold and the beautiful. Latest update, spoilers. The night air over Los Angeles shimmered with heat, though it was long past midnight. Inside the LA County Correctional Facility, the silence was heavy, punctuated only by the distant hum of fluorescent lights. Luna Nozawa sat on the edge of her narrow cot, her dark eyes burning with the kind of resolve that can only come from betrayal. It had been 6 months since the accident, the one that took her unborn child and shattered her life. She was convicted of vehicular manslaughter, accused of causing the crash that also injured a bystander. A charge she swore was built on lies, manipulation, and a cover-up by the powerful Spencer family. In her mind, Luna replayed the moment again and again. The rain-slick highway, the flash of headlights, the panic, and then nothing. The prosecution had painted her as unstable, grieving, dangerous, unhinged. And maybe, she thought bitterly, they were right about one thing. She was dangerous. Just not in the way they imagined. Tonight, Luna Nozawa was done being a victim. The plan. It had taken weeks of quiet calculation. A guard, Officer Ramos, had been sympathetic. Too sympathetic. Flirting turned into whispered conversations and soon into opportunity. You don't deserve to be in here, Luna, Ramos had told her during a late shift. I've seen women crack under less. You're not like them. No, Luna had whispered, her lips barely moving. I'm not. Now the key he'd slipped her, hidden in the seam of her blanket, glinted faintly in the dim light. The cameras in this corridor were old. She knew the timing by heart. Every 17 seconds the feed looped. It was all she needed. She slid the key into the cell door, heart pounding. The click was soft, almost elegant. Like freedom itself. For a moment Luna hesitated. She could still turn back, serve the rest of her sentence, fade quietly into obscurity. But that wasn't her. Not anymore. She pushed the door open and slipped into the hallway. The corridor stretched ahead, long and sterile. Luna moved silently, keeping to the shadows. Her body trembled with adrenaline. Every sound, the creak of her shoe, the buzz of the lights, felt amplified, echoing in her skull. As she reached the security exit, the second part of her plan fell into place. She used the small screwdriver she'd hidden in her hair to pry open the panel. A few quick sparks later, the alarm system was offline for exactly 90 seconds. She ran. Outside, the night hit her like a wave. The smell of asphalt, the cool wind, the vastness of the city sprawling below. She had arranged for a car. R.J. Forrester had made sure of it. R.J. had been her one ally since the trial, his loyalty torn between his family's reputation and his feelings for Luna. When he'd slipped her the envelope during visitation, "If you ever need to disappear, you'll find what you need in here," she hadn't known if she would use it. Until tonight. She spotted the black sedan idling by the side fence, headlights off. The driver's window rolled down just enough to reveal RJ's familiar blue eyes. "Get in," he said quietly. Artist dilemma. The road twisted away from the city lights. For a while neither of them spoke. Luna stared out the window, her reflection ghostly in the glass. "You shouldn't have come," she said finally. "I couldn't let you rot in there," RJ said. You didn't deserve it. You don't even know what I deserve. Yes, I do, he replied. I was there when the evidence got buried. My Uncle Bill, he knew the other driver was drunk. He covered it up to protect his investor. You took the blame. Luna turned to him sharply. Then why didn't you testify? Because if I did, it would have destroyed my family, RJ said, his voice breaking. And you told me not to. You said you'd rather die than see me ruin my future. She stared at him for a long time, then whispered, and I almost did. The car sped through the canyon roads. The city fell away, replaced by silence and darkness. The safe house. They stopped at a remote cabin outside Malibu, an old Forester property that had long been forgotten. Inside, the air smelled of dust and sea salt. Luna sank onto the couch, her wrists still red from the handcuffs she'd worn earlier that day. What now? RJ asked. Now. Luna said, her tone icy. How I get my life back. Luna, if they find you. They won't. Not until I'm ready. RJ moved closer. You can't go after Bill or Will. You'll end up right back in prison. Luna looked up at him, eyes blazing. They took everything from me, my baby, my freedom, my name. I won't let them walk away clean. Then what do you want from me? Luna smiled faintly. I want you to keep pretending you don't know where I am. And when the time comes, I'll need you to get me into the Forester offices. RJ hesitated. Luna. Please, she said softly. Trust me. He did. The morning after. By dawn, news broke across every network. Luna Nozawa escapes prison. Authorities fear she may seek revenge. At Spencer Publications, Bill slammed his fist on the desk. How the hell did this happen? Katie looked up from her tablet, concern in her eyes. Bill, if she's really out there, you need to think about security. For Will. For Electra. Bill scowled. I don't scare easy. But if Luna's on the loose, she's desperate. That makes her unpredictable. At Forester Creations, Steffi read the headline aloud, her jaw tight. This is going to blow back on all of us. RJ's name is already trending. People think he helped her. Did he? Ridge asked quietly. Steffi looked away. If he did, we've got a bigger problem. Revenge in motion. Back at the cabin, Luna watched the same news broadcast, her expression unreadable. She had changed into jeans and a dark jacket, her long hair tied back. The Luna who sat in that cell was gone. The Luna in the mirror now was something new, forged from grief and fury. She picked up a small burner phone and dialed a number. When the voice on the other end answered, she said calmly, It's me. I need access to Spencer's private archives. The ones tied to the 9th Street project. There's a file labeled Eden case. That's where they hid the truth. The voice hesitated. Luna, that's dangerous. If you get caught. I've already been caught once, she said coldly. Never again. She hung up. Fade to black. Outside, the waves crashed against the Malibu cliffs, relentless and wild, much like Luna herself. Somewhere in downtown Los Angeles, alarms began to sound as Spencer's security network registered a breach. A digital ghost had entered their system, leaving only one message flashing across the screen. The truth always escapes. Bill Spencer's eyes widened as he read it. Luna, he whispered. She's coming. And in the distance, under the pale dawn sky, Luna Nozawa stepped out of the cabin, a hood drawn over her head and a look of fierce determination in her eyes. Freedom wasn't enough. Justice was next.